What is up, everybody? Bootman here, and we're back with another Marvel Snap video. And in this video, I wanted to talk about why Mockingbird might actually be my favorite card of this new season, and maybe even the best new card of the season. And before you get all mad, stick around and at least listen to my arguments, all right? Because some of you are like, well, yeah, you're just gonna put her in Thanos. Oh, no. We got bigger plans for this card right here, all right? But before we get started, if you're new here, hi, my name's Chris. I also go by Bootman. And yeah, I like to go over different deck and card strategies to help you rank up the ladder, win in conquest mode. And we also have a Marvel Snap podcast that we release every couple weeks. So if you're into any of that, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell, all right? And yeah, let's, before we jump into this, I haven't been making a ton of content lately. I've been very busy, and if I'm being fully transparent, I was kind of bored with the game, but man, this new season and these new cards have had me playing so much. I have a bunch of other projects outside of my Marvel Snap that I've been working on, but I really want to get back to making deck videos because I've just been having so much fun with the game. So those of you who miss this lovely face right here, don't worry, I'm gonna try to be back. And by the way, you can follow me on Twitter at any time. I'm always on there talking about Marvel Snap. It's linked down below at BootmanMSTZ. So, Mockingbird, new card coming out next week. All right, I'm super excited. So, she's a 5/9, costs 1 less for each of your cards in play that didn't start in your deck. All right, cool. Obvious choice is Thanos. But anyways, I was just talking on Twitter and I was like, I gotta make a video on this because this is something I didn't think of. And those of you who already thought of it, don't come in the comments like, oh, well, I already knew this. Just stop. Not all of us have the same ideas at the same time. There's probably some new card that came out there that you didn't think of something with, so calm down, don't be that guy, all right? But anyways, this person, Cool Cards 718, they said something, I'm like, oh my God, and my brain just started going, and now I'm super excited for this card. So yeah, it costs 1 less for each card in play that didn't start in your deck. Okay, so 9 stats is nothing to scoff at, and she can't get Shang-Chi. Pretty cool. So I put together a little list of some cards that I'm thinking of, and yeah, so here we go. So obviously, the first choice is Thanos. I know some of you don't have an amazing Thanos Venomized split like this, but you know, what are you gonna do? All right, but anyways, Thanos is the obvious choice. Your Infinity Stones don't start in your deck, so each one that's in play, she costs 1 less. So you also gotta ask yourself, like, this is one I was least excited for. It's the obvious choice. I like playing things that are not meta. I honestly don't play that much Thanos anymore just because Thanos is always floating in and out of the top decks, and I like experimenting with other decks, all right? So the other choices are like these Agents decks, right? So I love these decks. I was just saying, this is how it came up on Twitter. I was saying like, yo, Thanos is the obvious choice, but me personally, I love like card generation decks. I love them so much. Like, they keep your opponent guessing. Your opponent has 0 clue what your output range is. They have no idea. When you're dropping Coulson, when you're dropping Nick Fury, Helicarrier, they do not know what you could play. It could be literally anything. So yeah, I like these. I think Maria Hill, like, she's a phenomenal card now. You just curve it out, drop down a 1, you automatically have a 2 cost and things like that. But this is not what I was most excited for, where I had this little like aha moment from this Twitter conversation. It's any card that's in play. So I wasn't even thinking about all of the cards that when you play them, they make more cards. Because the issue is whether we're talking about Thanos or whether we're talking about these card generation cards like Maria Hill and Coulson and Nick Fury and these other like card generation cards, is like, not only do you have to generate them, so like Maria Hill, for example, turn 1, it's not doing anything for me. Like Mockingbird cost reduction does nothing for me on turn 1 when I drop Maria Hill. I need to play that 2 cost, and now she's -1, right? Well, now on turn 3, I play Coulson, right? And then I have to drop another card. And usually with Coulson 2, we're also playing things like maybe like Zabu, and we can get some cost reduction on that. you know, whatever. But do you see what I mean? Like, so there's a turn where you're not actually benefiting Mockingbird. So same thing with Thanos, like unless you're drawing the Mind Stone and drawing like more stones right at the beginning, like it's hard to like curve that out. So like Mockingbird's gonna get like -2, -3 maybe, you know, which still isn't bad, right? But what somebody pointed out was these cards that put cards on the deck. So they said, well, yeah, what about Debris? And that's when it clicked for me. So Debris, you toss her down, Mockingbird already gets -2, all right? So you toss Debris down because she generates 2 rocks on your board, which didn't start there, right? Well, that's amazing. Like I put together a bunch of these, but think about it. Like that got me thinking of junk decks. So Hood, if I play a demon out, that subtracts from Mockingbird. If I play Sentry, Sentry puts the Void out, that benefits Mockingbird. So now I'm thinking of like these junk style decks, right? Now that Luke Cage is back too, you could play the old Debris Hazmat, right? Luke Cage to get that your own cards back to a normal balance, right? And then you play this with a Nihilist, but yeah, with Debris, Void, Hood with the Demon, like what is that? Debris is -2, Void is -1, so that's 3. You get the Demon out there, that's -4. Mockingbird is now 2-9, like what? And then we Annihilus all of our junk over? What? That's crazy. But also, I forgot to add my girl in here. Look at this. So remember I was talking about how with these other cards, you have to like play them and then play the next card, play them, play the next card. Thanos, you gotta draw cards. Well, what about Squirrel Girl? Squirrel Girl, you put her out on 2-1, Mockingbird is automatically -2 because you're getting 2 more of these. Well, what about Mr. Sinister, right? If there's a way, like this one's a little bit more difficult, you would have to ramp up, but with Pixie, this is very possible, right? You Pixie your deck, you get a low-cost Doom, and your Mockingbird gets cost reduction, right? If you can get 2 Doom bots out there, that's also -2, okay? What about Brood? So like now I'm starting to think about the Patriot decks that you could rock with Brood and Mr. Sinister, right? Also Shanna puts cards out there, but you know who else? My man, I forgot to add him in here, Mysterio. Mysterio puts 2 cards out there that didn't start in your deck. I'm trying to figure out which other cards I'm missing. So what I did was I typed in the word add because he's like, add a card. So like Snow Guard, those are 2 cards that don't start in your deck. Black Knight, that's a good one. Sentinel, I'm wondering if Sentinel, like if you just get, like think about it, if you have Sentinel and Quinjet out there and you're dropping 1-drop Sentinels, that's awesome. No, Dakin, you're not really doing that. These are not really doing that. I guess you could do something with White Tiger, but I don't even know if this is all of the cards, but like, yeah, my brain is just going. There are so many different possibilities, but yeah, there's so many low-cost ones too. I think that's what got me so excited, is that you can get her out like pretty early, and then you could do some big things later. But yeah, so now I'm thinking Patriot decks, I'm thinking junk decks, I'm thinking just card generation decks, but I think one of the reasons I want to sit down and just make this video is because there's a lot of weird combinations that you could do. Like, what if I just put in, like with Pixie too, I don't know how many of you got Pixie. Those of you who don't know who Pixie is, you still got until Tuesday to get her, but she swaps all the costs of the cards in your deck. But anyways, like look at like just these low-cost cards that we can use, right? Like if I get like a Squirrel Girl and a Mysterio out there early, and then I maybe play Maria Hill, I'm just like doing some weird things, Mockingbird's getting that cost reduction, you know? Then I can have stuff like, if I have Pixie, I can have stuff on the top end like Dr. Doom, who hopefully swaps with like Squirrel Girl. I get a 1-cost Dr. Doom, then my Mockingbird's down, and I know what you're saying, well, what if your 1 cost becomes 6 costs? Well, that's when you get your man Mobius. But like, I'm not a major like deck creator, but my wheels are turning, right? And I think that's what's just so exciting about this season, is that we just have cards that are just doing things that are just different. And that's very, very exciting for me. Recently, like one of my last rant videos, no, what do you mean one of my last rant? I don't rant too often, but when I do. But that other one was talking about how just like for months, like so many cards have just been about like power slamming decks. Like I like interesting things that you could do with this, not just like, how can I put the most power? But you know, if there's ways to like just make new versions of junk decks, make less boring Patriot decks. That's one of the reasons I don't play Patriot. I just get very bored with it. But like card generation, like I am super excited. Getting Shanna out there to do some silly stuff. I don't know. Shanna, she's like, I'm just putting her out there. It's an option, but like, because that's -3. That just one card. You play you for 3 costs, you put 3 random cards out there, and now your Mockingbird is down to a 2/9. That's nuts. But Shanna, love you, girl, but like, oh, why aren't I using my damn hip? But Shanna, she can hurt you. She can do some weird things. Like she'll toss out like 0, or she'll put a hood when you don't have anything to do with it. I don't know. I'm just really excited about this card. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you gonna be getting this card? Like I was gonna get her no matter what. I think I'm getting all the cards this month just because they all do interesting different things. But yeah, I just want to share that with you for those of you who hadn't thought about it. And yeah, another shout out to Cool Cards 718 on Twitter for bringing this to light to me and making me very excited for next week. All right, but anyways, that's all I got for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I'm gonna try to make some new deck videos. Hopefully this weekend, I got some time. So I'll make some deck videos. There's some very fun, interesting decks. And there's even a top deck right now that I don't think enough people know about. Very, very, very good deck. All right, so make sure you're subscribed. That's all I got. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.